month 4 already. We're really scooting along. There's only 2 more sections to go after this one. It's just this little fellow here that we're going to be doing this month. So it looks like there's not a lot of sewing, except that you have to do 8 of them, okay? So it will keep you busy for the whole month. Enjoy. So this month we're going to be working with templates G to K. So I'm just going to show you how, just a little reminder about how we trace around the edge. Of course, we're on our sandpaper board using our lead pencil again, marking our registration holes, and then drawing in your 1/4 inch line by joining your dots. I have just popped a little template grip on the back of the template. So as well as the sandpaper board gripping the fabric, these little template grips now mean that your templates don't slip. They're really, really great. This one all over the place. This one, as soon as I put some pressure on it, it just holds the fabric. So you might find those really useful. And of course, once then you've traced around that, we have all our little pieces cut with our seam lines marked on the back. We're going to start stitching. And so template I has been cut from your coloured fabric. Template H will be cut from grey, and template L also from the grey background fabric. Okay, so when we get started, we're going to pop, and these ones are going to stitch in because this becomes the little curve, all right? But of course, as you are aware, you can stitch up and down all in one go. So I'm going to start and pin these 2 pieces together. And I'm going to stitch up here. I've already got one worked here so that I can show you what's going on. So I'll add this little piece in now. Start stitching right at the point, matching my dots, just in case you've all forgotten, because you've had a machine month and an applique month. We'll just do a little tailor's knot there. And then we're just going to stitch with our little running stitch. And we're just stitching to that dot, remember, because these are inset seams. Once I'm to there, I'm now going to take the next piece, lay it right sides together. I'm going to skip out, come through that fabric, match this dot, do a little back stitch. I just park my needle there, it just saves popping a pin in. Pin this end, matching the dots, and then I'm going to scoot down along that seam line there. So we're just going to stitch around like that. Once I've come down here, I'll add another little triangle in here until we have stitched that whole unit. Now you're going to stitch 9 of the diamonds with 8 of the small triangles between. Once you've stitched those on, you can then come back now and start at this end, and we can start adding these triangles in along this edge. And you're going to do that in exactly the same manner. So you'll start and stitch down to the point, pivot and stitch up. Add your next triangle in, right sides together, skip through your seam, stitch down. So in that way you're going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, and so forth until you now have that whole ring completed like so. Now at this stage you can trim these back. This becomes a straight edge along here of your block. We're going to add this little piece in here, so this becomes a straight edge along here. Now there is a little line on your template here. Okay, so that's the trimming line. So just to give you a guide, if you've given this a really lovely press and you're ready to trim it back with your ruler and rotary cutter, you can just pop that on, and you won't be able to pick this up on the camera, but you can just get a guide for where that 1/4 inch is. I just pop my 1/4 inch line right on the point and then make sure that I trim, leaving my 1/4 inch seam allowance along the edge on both sides. Once you've trimmed that, you can then add this in, okay? So that's not going to be hard for you. You're really good with curves now after month 1, I'm sure. So that will be added into this lower section here. That's template G. And then we have template K, which is this fellow here. You're going to join these end to end, all right, and you'll make a semicircle like so, and that literally just gets stitched to the top edge here. All right, so we've got this little fellow stitched into this curve, and this one stitched around the edge. And that you need to make 8 units of these. So there is quite a little bit of sewing in that, but they do come together quickly, especially if you hand stitch this with a continuous seam. All right, we'll see you next month. Just a couple of new products that we have developed. We now have a sandpaper board, which is a really great size, and it's nice and lightweight for traveling, which I love. I really use this a lot. I also use this side as my table just when I'm stitching on my lap. I love it because the sandpaper grips my trousers, and then it works as a little stable table for me. And also template grips, which are just little silicone grips that stick to the back of your template and stop them from sliding. Really handy for smaller sized templates that sometimes people find a little bit fiddly. So just a couple of things to help you out there.